Thank you so much, parents, for tuning in to watch this really quick demonstration as to how your child, your student, can fix their grade. Not just fix their grade, but get an A or at the very worst, a B in my class. So I've taken the whole semester one and we have a final review. They'll have 3 opportunities to take it. Once they get to my YouTube channel, you see this is Algebra 1 Strategies. What they're going to do is press right here. You see that they have timestamped this. So they don't need all 50 questions. They just need certain ones that they don't know how to do. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate that at this point, you should not be getting any student telling you, oh, math is hard, I cannot do this. They have a calculator that will pretty much do all the problems for you. I've waited towards the end to do it because very, very important that you understand how to do the Algebra 1, because when you get into higher math, Algebra 2, and pre-calculus, that calculator will not help you as much as they will change the numbers into variables. So you do need to know the basics of Algebra 1. So even though I am now teaching the students, your student, how to legally cheat because they do have this tool available for them, it is still very important for them to try to understand. But at this point, I want to protect their GPA and ensure that they have an A or at the very least a B. So please do not accept anything less, because I will use this final to replace all their previous test grades in order to bring them up to that A or B. So as long as they've been doing some work generally in class, in their classwork grade, the only thing that's really holding them back should be a test grade. So I will replace all their test grades. So let me show you this so that when your student says, oh, they can't get an A, you can, you're able to redirect them just like I'm going to do right now. So let's look at a calculator question. And again, I'm just going to randomly pick some. All right, this one should be a calculator. So what they're going to do is, so this is the semester 1 final review. You're going to click, say they need help with number 7, for example. You're going to click number 7. It is automatically going to take you to number 7 and play it. Question, put it in the calculator. Make sure it copied the question. Then what does this mean? You see where the x is, right? In place of x, because you see it's f of x, in place of x, you'll put in what? -3. So I'm going to copy the -3. Where I see the x, I'm going to delete that, put a parentheses, and put -3. So this is -8. Okay, so that was an example of doing number 7. Let's say that they did not understand how to do that. I will do multiple examples of the same thing. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to do another one. Let's just see if it gets really hard. I guess it doesn't really. All right, so it doesn't matter what it is. So again, copy it. You're evaluating the function. Again, what does this mean? H of x. So where I see x, find h of 3. I'm going to replace it with 3. So I copy the 3, and wherever I see the x, I'm going to delete it, put parentheses, and boom, -8. Okay, that's how you evaluate a function using the calculator. All right, so again, parents, I will be doing multiple problems of this. Their test is made up of about 70% with the calculator, literally just putting it in the calculator and putting the answer back into your test program. This is a calculator they have available for both strategies and for concepts and connections algebra 1. They are free to use it during their EOC, during their district assessments. It's just a matter of them actually practicing it. As you can see, it really just takes the math out of it. Let me pick a different question. So let's just randomly pick another one. Let's try this one. All right. All right, so again, let's quickly watch this so that if they come to you and they tell you, hey, this is hard, I do not understand, you can just show them this video and say that you now know what it really entails. But again, parents, this is not a substitute to actually learning the material because like I said, in Algebra 2 and pre-calculus, this calculator won't be as useful because they will take away the numbers and they will not have variables in place. So still very important for them to learn the Algebra 1. But at this point, with us being at the end of the semester, I'm trying to protect their GPA. So I do want to make sure that I've also taught them how to use this tool. So let's take a look at another example. I'm going to take a look at solve by trinomial factor. It's the same as factoring, only difference is it's actually your solution, your x-intercepts, your roots, or your zeros. Okay, so solve is you copy the same, x out of everything extra. So Control C, Control V, and then here we're going to make it squared. Then we're going to Control X, Control V. All right, once I have it, I want to actually solve it, not factor, which is actually a lot easier. Press home to see my graph. Here's my solutions right here. That's it. Oh, here's a problem. They're not going to want you to write it as 0 points. All right, so let's take a look at the solutions. The solutions are the x-intercepts. What does it cross? -2. And what is this? Oh my gosh, it's a fraction, so we just have to write it in. So solve the quadratic by factoring. So the first answer is going to be, where does it cross the x-axis? -2. And this is asking you for an equation, so I'm not going to put it as a coordinate. So it's -2, comma, because there are two places, right? And then the next one is this, but I can't put that in here, so it's negative, but it's a fraction of some sort. So I got to find out what that fraction is. So I'm just going to put it in as -0 point, and it's 666 repeated. So remember, for this, the trick is put the fraction, do it until it disappears. Then when it reappears, that's your actual answer. So -2/3, right? -2/3, okay? Now we're just going to check that. And how do I check that? I can say X. Okay, so once again, parents, just reiterating that this calculator is able to do 70% of their test. They just need to learn how to read it. And the only way you learn how to do that is by practice. So once again, whatever their problem is at this point, they can just click on the numbers. So, and as you can see, it takes less than 1 minute to do a question. So you're looking at 50 questions. So you're looking at about 100 minutes, which is like, an hour and 40 minutes, or even less to complete the actual test. This is so that they can also get used to what their EOC is going to look like, which will house about 80 questions. So this is also building up that stamina to make sure that when they take the EOC sometime in April, they're able to, hang through the whole test. Again, even on the EOC, this calculator is available. So just real quick and real easy to do it. I do want to give you some examples of the non-calculator section. So you do still have a calculator available, but 30% of it is non-calculator. So let me give you an example. Let's see right here. So this is a non-calculator question. In other words, a calculator is available, but a calculator will not help you. So you do have to know some things. So that 30%, I have still explained it. It is still relatively easy. Please take a second to listen to this explanation, see if you can answer it. So when they come to you and say, hey, I'm not able to do this work, you can just quickly show them this video and say, this is not true. All you have to do is listen to it. All right, so just take a moment to listen to it and see if you can answer a question. Then we have determine if a set is a function. So this one, you're looking for the x values. Are the x values repeating? So you just look at all the x values. So you have these, this, and this. Is that, and it's saying what it does not represent a function. So this one is a function because they're not repeating. What about this? -3, -8, -3, and -3. That one is not a function. I'm just going to check the rest of them. 6, -1, -7, and 3, not repeating, so it's a function. 3, 2, 9, and 4, not repeating, so it's a function. So the only one that is repeating is this one right here. So a function is, you can draw a vertical line test, or you can just look at whether the x is repeating or not. All right, then we're going to go. All right, so again, parents, the non-calculator section, still relatively easy. It's just, is your student doing enough practice? And then, of course, my tests are all open notes, so they can definitely write down whatever notes they want to write down to themselves, whether it's how to put it in the calculator or how to actually do the problem. We'll take a look at one more non-calculator question. All right, so again, you take the square root of the first, the square root of the second, plus and minus. So this is x, square root of x squared is x, square root of 25 is 5, and then you're going to do plus or minus. Just like that. All right, I'll do one more, so I'll do the actual question. So I already know I'm going to have parentheses. Square root of the first one, so square root of x squared is x. Square root, so I'm going to do it twice, right? And then the square root of 81 is 9. So I'm going to have plus 9 and minus 9. Right? So again, square root of the first thing, square root of the second thing, plus and minus. Right. All right, so parents, thank you so much for giving me your attention during this time. Once again, the calculator section, 70% of your final. and non-calculator 30%, but you're still able to understand the non-calculator section. It's mostly just definitions and quick problems, such as the ones you've just seen. Please do not accept any C's. It really hinders your students' GPA, and as you know, your GPA equates to scholarships and money your senior year. So please, 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 please strongly encourage your students just to work on the questions that they don't know the answers to. So that is located in the very back of their book. You will see something, a sheet of paper that looks like this, and it'll have all the questions listed out with the titles. And then they will have marked which ones they currently have right, which one they need a little practice on, and which ones they do not know how to do. So at this point, I have covered all 50 questions, shown you how to use it in a calculator. So if you don't know how to do it without a calculator, that's okay, because right now we're using that tool. Please encourage your students to do everything they can do to get an A, at the very worst, get a B. And thank you so much for your support this semester. I wish you a very great day. Thank you so much.